Most by a team in this tournament since Illinois State dished out 31 against Southern Illinois in 1998. So 29 assists by the Sycamores. Sycamores snapped a two-game losing streak, have improved to 21-11, while advancing to 2:30 p.m. quarterfinal round Friday against number 4 seed Belmont. This marked the Sycamores' third consecutive win over Evansville this season and 12th in the last 13 meetings. Indiana State now 4-3 against Evansville in games played in this tournament. The Sycamores, this will be interesting. Sycamore is coming off a season low, 3 triples in its regular season loss to Missouri State, made 13 today, 13 out of 30. That marks the 12th game this season with 10-plus three-pointers. Evansville finishes the season with a 6th straight loss, closes 5-27. For those who weren't here after the first game, house rules are simple. Turn off and silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already. Thank you. Wait for one of our 2 mic holders to reach you before asking a question. If you need to get in a rotation, get their attention or mine. If you have a follow-up question, remind the mic holder so she stays with you. There's one on each side of the room. And today's session will be less than 15 minutes long. And once the coach makes his opening statement, you can ask questions of anyone on the dais. Thank you. The victorious Sycamores are with us, the number 5 seed. Head coach Josh Schertz is in the middle. Cameron Henry and Cooper Neese represent the student body. We're going to ask Josh to start off with a statement on the game, and then we'll go to questions for all 3 of the Indiana State reps. Josh, please.
Well, first, quickly want to, congratulate Evansville. I was in the same boat last year. Transitions are hard, and Coach Racklin and his staff and players deserve a lot of credit because those guys, maybe wasn't their best day today, but they've certainly improved dramatically from where they were. And we played them in December to February, and they had a lot of opportunities to win games. And so credit to them, and they're obviously going to build something special there. So, wanted to make sure to start there. In terms of us, pleased with how we played. I thought we got contributions up and down from a lot of different guys in the roster. Obviously, it was Coop and Robbie and Cam Henry there to start the game. We're really dialed in and making shots, and I thought, did a good job setting a tone offensively and defensively. And as the game wore on, we had other guys step up, and our bench, I thought, was terrific, and it allowed us to, rest guys there down the stretch and not play too many minutes, which was, we didn't know how the game would unfold, but it gave us a chance to rest some guys so we'd have, be as fresh as we could for tomorrow afternoon.
We're going to start right here in the aisle. Thank you.
Coach, this one went kind of according to script for you guys. I know you weren't overlooking Evansville by any means, but on top of it going to script, you have the largest win in the history of Arch Madness, 39-point victory. That's got to be a pretty good feeling heading into Belmont.
Yeah, you never come into a game expecting it to, unfold like that. We were really fortunate. Again, I think, our guys, we're locked in and dialed in. We understand, it's called March Madness for a reason and Arch Madness for a reason because, the upsets that happen and things that are unexpected happen in these one game, offs, and can't take anything for granted. We came here, really with we obviously want to play as long as we can, but we knew to get 4, you got to get 1, and this was the first one, and I thought we were dialed in, from the jump defensively, and I thought we did a really good job sharing the ball offensively. They changed, defenses and kept us off balance, but 29 assists is a huge number, and and obviously the margin was just a byproduct of that. And I'm sure Evansville feels like, which is accurate. They maybe didn't put their best foot forward today. They didn't play their best, and they caught us on a night where I thought we were really locked in.
Josh, obviously you guys had a lot of success in the paint, 46 points in the paint. Can you just talk a little bit about how much of an emphasis that was during the scout, and just kind of talk a little bit about why you guys were able to have so much success in the paint?
I think, for us offensively, that's a huge part every game. We want to attack the paint, and everybody, I think, talks about our threes, but we really reverse engineer it. Everything is us, attacking the paint and trying to put pressure on the rim. And if we want layups, and if we can't get layups, we want free throws. Can't get free throws, we'd like to generate spot threes. And we did a pretty good job of I thought, punishing them and different. They were switching some stuff. I thought we got the ball inside to Robbie some. I thought, Jew got downhill a little bit. And then obviously the more, they kind of get spread out when you start making threes, and that opens the rim up. And I thought we did a good job of, interior pass. They played a lot of zone. They hadn't played much zone all year. I probably hadn't played a possession since, end of November, early December. So we were kind of caught off guard. They played that much zone, but we did a good job, second half particularly, getting the ball inside, puncturing it, and then cutting and moving behind that. And I thought our guys shared it well. So credit to them. They're the ones making the plays. We just try to keep it simple because they were changing defenses. So I didn't want to confuse them or myself. So we just let them play out of that, read, react, and they did a great job.
One's for Cooper Neese. Cooper, 5 threes made today. just caught on fire very early, and just take us through how you saw this game through your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we played extremely, unselfish throughout the entire game. I think 29 assists, shows for that. You hit a couple there, starts feeling a little bit better and better as you go, and then you got teammates like, the ones I have that look for you when a couple go in like that, just like we would with anybody else. But no, I thought we started really, really strong. It's still some things that we can improve on. And then, like Coach said, I think the second half, we really stepped it up, did what we needed to do to take care of business. So.
Cooper, piggybacking off of the last question, when your team is so connected, getting those types of looks, you yourself are canning so many opportunities in the first 10 to 12 minutes, how does that affect your natural tendencies and desires as a scorer, too, when it's going in for everybody, balancing your individual game, along with everything else?
Yeah, so you got to find a happy median. That's where I think probably one of my biggest growth has been throughout, my time here at State, is just understanding, even if you're making shots at a high level doesn't necessarily mean you need to take the next one. Just find the right next play. And just being able to do that, I think is the byproduct of today, not worrying about, I just hit 2 in a row, shoot the next 3 or nothing like that. But if you're open, let it fly. If you've got an opportunity to get downhill, make a play for a teammate, do that before anything else. So.
Okay, we're right here, and then we have multiple questions in the back row on the left. Go, please.
Cole Bartimus with 590 Fan Sports Radio here in St. Louis. I got a couple for Coach Schertz and one for Cam. Coach, 11-20 record last year and a first-round exit in this tournament. This year, 20-11 and moving on to the second round. What changes did you make within this program to make that change?
Don't share all your secrets now.
Well, I think, when I left out of St. Louis last year, when you have when your season doesn't go well, I think there's probably, 3 potential, possibilities or culprits, right? And so it would be you lack the talent, you lack the experience, or your culture is not strong enough. We probably had a little bit of all 3. We definitely, had to improve our talent level. It wasn't good enough to compete at this level. We endured some injuries and things, but we weren't talented enough. We obviously we had very limited experience, particularly in the way we want to play. We really value what we call corporate knowledge, so our players' ability to be in the system and learn. We don't usually run a lot of plays. We allow guys to play. We give them a lot of freedom, but with that, comes a learning curve, and it's actually harder. So we needed more experience, and then I didn't think our culture was where it needed to be. It was strong enough, in that first year, and I came from a place where we had a great culture, but you can't transpose it. So those were the areas we really went to work. We were able to bring back, these 2 guys coming back, they both graduated. They both could have left. We lost 20 games. Kalik Stevens, all 3 of those guys. He averaged 14 a game. He averaged 15 a game. They both came back, graduated, came back to a team that lost 20 games, and they knew we were going to increase the talent level, and they'd probably have to have lesser roles, which they have, and they willingly did that, which says all I need to know about these guys. And then I think the guys we brought in really fit not only talent-wise but our culture, and then having 6 of our top 7 scorers back from last year. Our experience level in terms of what we want to do is, and how the Valley works is, just exponentially higher than it was last year.
And speaking of the talent on this team, you also brought a few guys from the D2 level up here with you, Cam being one of them. Did you know when you were recruiting them at Lincoln Memorial that they were D1 caliber players?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, at LMU, to win at that level at D2, at the highest level, you got to have guys that can, play Division I basketball. And we took high school guys there and we developed, we redshirted them. So Cam came in and he didn't play his freshman year. Jabo came in, Budson came in, he redshirted his freshman year. Voss was a rare freshman who didn't redshirt, but he didn't play. He barely got in the games as a freshman. And so we probably 95% of the time, redshirt our freshmen, took them, and it was a process there. It was a development program. I don't know if that will, be apples to apples at Division I level because it's different, but we had to have guys we thought had Division I ceilings, guys that could, compete at this level. Then it was our job to get it out of them, to help them grow as a player and their IQ and their strength and understanding how to play and their skill sets and all those things. And so certainly when we recruited Cam and Jabo, those guys felt like they had the ability to play at this level. Otherwise, at that level, we couldn't have taken them. So I'm not surprised by their success.
Yeah, and for Cam, what experiences did you have at the Division II level at Lincoln Memorial that prepared you for Division I March Madness here?
I'll say the longevity in our seasons. We used to just go and have a lot of good playoff runs and just learning that you have to stay together and just be a team. And it's not always going to be easy. It's just adversity always hits. And just the same thing. It's just a couple things that's different. There's not a lot of things that's different at the D2 and Division I level. I think the skill sets are kind of the same. It's just strength and height, really. But the thing I took away from Lincoln Memorial is just how to win. Just be a winner, be a good teammate.
All right, we're under 3 minutes to go. We have a question in the back. Go.
Hey guys, I got a question real quick for Coop and Cam. Cam, I'll start with you. You made a point of playing defense today. You know, really defending the basket, taking a charge, hopping on a ball like in front of the bench in the corner. Yeah, you had 8 early points, but what was the concentrated effort from you to kind of defend the basket and to establish that early?
Just having that feeling like just no regrets after the game, because if we would have ended up losing that game, you just look back at a couple plays like, man, I wish I hit the ground. Man, I wish I took a charge. Man, I wish I was there on defense. So last year, just coming in from now and last year, there was definitely a lot of regrets in that game. So I just want to leave it all on the floor. If I got to hit the floor so it sets an example for my team, then I'll hit the floor anytime. So,
Coop, you guys, the Sycamores have only won a couple of games here at Arch Madness the last couple of years. For you, you know, getting off to a hot start today and just kind of getting used to the rims and you know, you've been here a couple of times. What was it like for you, and do you feel like you saved some of your effort and some of your makes for kind of the next coming games for you guys?
Yeah, I always feel like, the next one's our best one, whether it's, individually or collectively. And, at the end of the day, all we're trying to look for is to win. Whatever that takes is whatever has to be done. Whatever we have to be able to do, like you were talking about him, he scores the first probably, 6 or 8 points for us. And then he starts guarding and guarding and guarding throughout the entire possession for the entire time that he was in the game. I mean, we got guys who do that, for the other detailed stuff within the game, that just focus on what they do best, focusing on their strengths, and then doing whatever it takes to win the game. So that's where our focus is for this whole weekend, hopefully. So,
Final 2 questions. 1, 2.
Coach, with such a big victory, is there any main takeaways that you can improve upon going into tomorrow?
Well, I think, postseason is so different than regular season, because regular season, you're always worried about, growing and improving and where you can get better and what you did do and learning from the experience. In the postseason, it's very basic. You win or you lose, because if you lose, you're done. So there is no learning or growing. We'll go back. We won't even watch this game or talk about it. When we get back together tonight, it'll be strictly on Belmont, and we're already obviously ready to go with that. But, this game we played 8 days ago. What'll be 9 days ago tomorrow. And what we learned from it, what we took from that, and where we can be better so that we have a better chance to win. We obviously led that game in the final 2 seconds. Got a foul call, and they made 2 free throws, won the game. But we did some really good things to get up 17. We did some really dumb things to get the game back to 1. And where can we continue to build on things to do well, and where can we improve and do some things better, and then play our best, we need our best game of the season tomorrow for sure.
Mine was for Cam and Cooper. Another crack at Belmont tomorrow. Cam obviously didn't get to play last week against Belmont. Cooper, chance to get the bad taste out of your mouth.
Cameron, you first, please.
I'll say I didn't get to play, and a lot of guys stepped up and played really well. I mean, I wouldn't say – I feel like my team can win. We can win without any one person, So just I'm overly excited to play them. I mean, I want to play anybody. We had a lot of losses in the season, and our next matchup is probably going to be revenge for what happened in the regular season. So, I mean, we're going to definitely be locked in, definitely be overexcited, but can't be too excited. Just stay even keel and just wait for game time.
yeah, I mean, a team does something like that to you. You don't want anything more than to get right back at them. And, thankfully we've got that chance. But, you got to go into it looking at, like Coach said, what we've got to be able to build off of, from the first half, and then what we've got to learn from the second half. And, I think we've got mature guys, on this team that can do something like that. You got to understand when we're closing the game, just to do the simple things, the little things, the detailed things, and then that's when you come out up top, and that's what I'm hoping for. So,
Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Thank you.
Evansville Aces are here. Gage Bulb, Marvin Coleman II represent the student body. Head coach Dave Ragland is in the middle. We're going to ask David to make a statement on the game that just finished. Then we'll go to questions for all three of the Aces on the dais. David, please.
You know, I thought we had a good game plan coming out. You know, there's games like this sometimes where, you know, a team shoots as well as Indiana State does, and they are a team that's done that more than once. You know, one thing that we talked about was trying to limit their threes, and you know, they hit 13 against us in game 1 and game 2, and we wanted to limit it less than 10, and they had 13 again tonight. But you know, I thought they had a certain focus and timing sometimes not on your side. Give credit to Indiana State for how they played, how focused they were. You know, but we've had a couple times where they've been on losing streaks coming into playing against us, and I think that's fuel that gets them going. And you know, they're experienced, and you know, Coach Church has been through this, where he's rebuilt this program, and they're a team that we look at to improve ours. But they played from tip to the end, and I thought our group did too. I thought our group didn't give in, didn't hit shots like we wanted to, and didn't take away enough shots. But you know, just like all season, we stayed in there and kept fighting.
Thank you. Questions? Here, start right here. Anthony?
David, obviously now year one of your tenure is now complete. Can you just talk a little bit about maybe the emotions behind that and kind of the takeaways from your first full season as head coach?
Yeah, life is a journey. This is a chapter of it. Yeah, I told the group, you know, take what you learn from this experience, you know, from this year. Obviously, you look at wins and losses, and it doesn't look great, you know, but in order to know how to succeed, you got to know how it is to fail. And you know, Michael Jordan said that, and I think he did pretty good in life. And these guys are really good people. I love them, each and every one of them. And I think they brought it every single day. And I think we got better every single day. And at the beginning of it, that was our goal. Obviously, we wanted to win more games than we did, but the character of our group is as high as I've seen a group. And this season, you know, it's been as adverse as it gets at times. It's been a good ride, you know, because I'm surrounded by good people. So again, I love the fight, I love the improvement, and I love our group.
And then can you just talk a little bit about, you know, talking about preparation for next season? I guess, you know, does that start immediately? Just kind of talk a little bit about, you know, what you take in going into, you know, the off season and what you kind of.
Yeah, the most important thing for our group now is finishing our race. You know, they're student athletes, so student part is first, and spring break is next week. You know, so we'll get back safely to campus. We have classes tomorrow, and these guys will be in class. We miss a lot of class because of travel with the season, but we'll lock in academically, do what we need to do academically, and start working on spring workouts here in a few weeks.
Stay right here. Thank you. You have one there? Okay.
Coach, of course, you talked about looking at Coach Church as a example of how to rebuild a program. What is going to be, I guess, the main focus for you going from this year to next in terms of being able to turn some of these losses into wins?
Yeah, you know, staying the course for one. Again, we've gotten better each and every day, and situations like this, you know, they can. People say they can make or break you. I think if you look at it with the right perspective, feeling the way we feel right now, and looking at the season we had, we have to use it as fuel. You know, fuel to get in the gym more, fuel to maybe listen a little bit more, fuel to have more urgency, fuel just to do our job at a higher level. Then for our group is very inexperienced. You know, so the experience of going through this league, knowing what it looks like, whether it's the size, athleticism, shooting, game planning, all this stuff helps that.
And Gage, obviously, you were here last season under the previous staff. Can you just talk a little bit about, going through a whole season, under them and now under the new staff, just kind of, I guess, the differences and just kind of, what you take away from their first season?
Yeah, the staff we got is great. I think they all really care about winning. Like you said, our record wasn't where we wanted it to be, but those guys still showed up every day, staying late, watching film, put together good game plans, giving us a chance to win. And we went into every game thinking we were going to win, partially because of that great game plan that their staff put together. So I think, yeah, they do a good job and they push us to be great. And like I said, they're building something here, so it's just going to keep compounding.
And then Marvin, last time we talked, it was a lot about being the foundation kind of to build upon in your final year of college basketball. Now that that's kind of concluded, can you talk about the emotions of that and kind of what you kind of hope to see as an alum going forward?
It obviously hurts just being with a great group, great coaching staff, great teammates. Like I said, I've made a lot of memories this year. Our record doesn't show exactly what we wanted it to be, but like Coach said, there's beauty in the struggle. These are life lessons that we, as a group, we're learning each and every day. So I'm obviously hurt to not be able to put on the jersey anymore, but I'm happy that I came here for this year, and like I said before, I have full faith that Coach is going to turn it around. The first year is always hard, so with change, everything is hard. So I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to play for a coach like this and a university like this.
Then just kind of talking about the game itself, you guys gave up, I believe it was 46 points in the paint. Can you just talk a little bit about, what they were kind of doing that was, this is really for anybody, just talk a little about what it was they were doing that had their success and just kind of how you guys weren't able to, I guess, counter that.
We'll go to Gage first and then Marvin on this question. Thanks.
We talked in the first half. We thought we were a little hesitant on our rotations, which we've been pretty good at outside of that first half, and we think that's kind of what led to not being there at the right time. We're just a little late, and then they're good players, so if you're late, they're going to make you pay. It's not like we're not playing in a bad league here. Everybody can play, so you got to be on point with all your defensive rotations. So you're going to give up 46 points in the paint and 13 threes. I don't know.
Yeah, like Gage said, and then Cooper Neese was shooting the ball. He had a great night tonight. So, Indiana State, they're a tough matchup because, across the board, all 5 positions they can score. And, we always kind of have to give something up. Our defense, we were trying to be more aggressive with the traps, and then we were a step slow. And when a team like that, they're going to make you pay. So, credit to them for doing what they were supposed to do.
Coach, is there any, just from year one in the league, you mentioned the athleticism, mentioned the size, things like that. Is there any one of those particular areas that you're focusing on in terms of building and developing the team and the roster for next year?
Yeah, one thing with getting the job late, we didn't really get an opportunity to get in the weight room like I wanted to. So we'll have the whole spring and summer to really hit the weight room. Just working on what being in the weight room, it breeds confidence. And when you have the physicality you need in a physical league, then it gives you the confidence you need to rotate the different spots or finish at the rim, get the 2 feet, different things like that. I thought we did a better job playing off pivots, playing off 2 feet, but when you have some strength to you, the right amount of strength and athleticism from an efficient offseason, it'll help you to actually finish them.
Mike, a question is for both you, Coach, and Gage. Gage, I'll just start with you. From South Knox to here, man, I know that it's not the ending that you wanted, but you kind of do have that Cinderella dream story to go from small school in Indiana to now starting at Arch Madness. Just talk about how much of a wild ride this truly has been for you.
Yeah, it's a wild ride. It's a good way to describe it. It's been fun. It's just these last 4 years have been probably the best 4 years of my life. Great group of people I'm surrounded by with every day, and I love playing basketball. So it's just been a lot of fun for me.
And Coach, I know you weren't with him long, but, I mean, you clearly saw something in him, the same thing that all the other coaches that had him too, you know?
Yeah.
Just talk about, the kind of player and person that you think Gage is.
No, he's got a great personality, infectious personality. I don't know if there's not one person that doesn't love him. He makes it hard for you not to like him, and he's earned everything he's gotten. I know both of his high school coaches, and both of them just talk about his hard work, his commitment. He shows up every day. He's an everyday guy, and he's done that all year long. He's earned his scholarship. He's earned his starting spot. He's earned everything that he's got. So, you just want to be blue collar and have no excuses through life, and that's what he exemplifies.
Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck in your future.
Thank you. No more questions, Anthony? Ball hog. That's ball hog. Yeah, thank you.